Alright, we don't have time for an intro. This is about to be the messiest video I've ever made. Let's just literally hop right in because it's a lot. So I have to do some like housekeeping matters before I get into this actual video. I did not rank my books at the end of my October wrap up. So October, this is literally insane. I don't know if anybody cares, but in case you do, I usually rank the books that I read in a month at the end of my wrap up, and I did do that in my October wrap up, which I just posted at the end of November. So I'm gonna do that really quickly just for my deck of TBR books. I'm gonna try to remember off the top of my head what books I read. If I forget one, you don't have to comment about it. Okay, so basically I didn't read all of the books for that month. This is just the books that I did read from deck of TBR. Okay, so my original rankings, the one book that I didn't read was Escaping from Houdini. My original rankings were, I believe, this, The Illness Lesson on the bottom, then We Were Liars, then Red, White, and Royal Blue, then The Spanish Love Deception. I honestly don't think much has changed, although maybe, so I did give this one a higher rating than The Illness Lesson, but I still think it would go this way, which doesn't make sense. That doesn't make sense, but that is accurate. I feel that in my bones. So that's the ranking. I think there were a lot of flaws with The Illness Lesson, but overall the content of it, the like way it made me feel, was far more impactful on me than We Were Liars. So that's the reason I'm doing that. And that's all I'm gonna say about it. Okay, next housekeeping matter, deck of TBR. This unfortunately is not a deck of TBR video. Before you click away, allow me to explain myself. I read zero, that's correct, none, zero of the books that I picked for my November deck of TBR. So I can't fathom myself doing deck of TBR. In addition, I have to read 18 books before the end of the year, and I would like to choose those books so that I choose books I actually want to read, have the capacity to read before the end of this year. So if you're looking for deck of TBR, I'm sorry. January deck of TBR will be back. For right now, we're gonna keep the chaos, but just transfer it into a different zone, which is panic. Panic about reading 18 books before the end of the year. But I'm going to tell you every single book I'm going to read before the end of the year. All 18 of them. I've picked them all. I know what they're going to be. If on Goodreads you see me reading not one of these books, feel free to report me to the authorities, because that's what I deserve. And then one more thing regarding deck of TBR before I move on, and I will re-announce this in January, but I do want to establish it here so that I don't forget. I don't believe at the end of November deck of TBR I picked a new bomb book. If I did, it was probably not really solid. I was probably like, oh, it's gonna be Ugly Love by Colleen Hoover. Quick update on the bomb book situation. If you didn't watch last month's video, I picked 2 jokers in one round, which means I had to read 2 bomb books. That was Song of Achilles and It Ends With Us. Like I said, I read none of the books from my deck of TBR, so those 2 have not been read yet. But when I do read them, which, spoiler alert, they're on the TBR for December, I will make a vlog cataloging my process through those devastating books. But because I picked 2, that means we didn't have a bomb book at the end of last month to replace for this month, but it'll go into January. I have a new bomb book, and this is the most exciting bomb book I have ever announced for many reasons. This book has been on my TBR for a long time, very highly anticipated, and it was sent to me by one of you, which is like the most special thing ever. I shed tears when I got it in the mail. To like, I can't fathom that somebody would send me a book and spend money on me. That's a lot. Thank you. So it is My Dark Vanessa by Kate Elizabeth Russell. This is definitely a bomb book, and actually it got sent with a little note, and so I will read that note. So the note basically says, if this isn't a bomb book, I don't know what is. Get it, girl, from Erin. Thank you so much, Erin. This is so kind. This will 100% be my next bomb book because I'm terrified of it, highly anticipating it, all at the same time, very excited for it. I'm so incredibly grateful for this gift. Thank you so much, Erin. And this will be on my deck of TBR board for next month. As much as I am highly anticipating that book, I think it will break me. Okay, now we're going to actually get into the books that I need to read before the end of the year. I'm stressed. This is not only the end of the reading year, this is the end of my semester. I have an absurd amount of work to do, so I'm a little panicked if you haven't been able to already gather that from this video, but we're just gonna go through all the books. So these are split into two categories right now, to read and to finish. So throughout the year, I've accumulated some books that I haven't quite finished. They have all been started in this year, so I have allowed myself to add all of those to the end of this. So some of these are like half done or a quarter done or so, and I just have to finish them. And so it's not 18 full books, I guess, that I have to read by the end of the year, but yeah, I will tell you which ones I have to read and which ones I have to finish and which ones are which and stuff like that. And yeah, so let's just get into it. So this also might change by the time that I post this. It's December 2nd right now, so I might have finished these hopefully by the time that I post this. But the first one that I have to finish, so I've already started this one, is It Happened One Summer by Tessa Bailey. I'm reading this for a video that will hopefully come out within the next two or so weeks. This one I've already started. I'm almost done with it. This is a lot longer than I thought it was gonna be. It's like 400 pages, which is pretty long for a romance book, but I'm really enjoying it so far. But yeah, I have to finish this. I'm hoping to finish it tonight. Don't see what would be stopping me necessarily, but yeah, so I'm hoping that this will be finished by tonight. Okay, next, this one I have read like 2 pages of, so I don't really have it in the to finish category. This is kind of just to read, and that is And the Ocean Was Our Sky by Patrick Ness. This is a pretty short book. I got it for my deck of TBR in November, and I just never got around to reading it, but I really do want to read it. The nice thing about this one is the text is very big, and there is illustrations on pages and stuff, so I don't feel too overwhelmed by this one. And you know, I feel like these two so far, like, we're off to a good start. These are very doable for December. So far, I feel actually good about this. Like, as I'm saying this out loud, that doesn't feel too overwhelming. Okay, next we have The Honey Don't List by Christina Lauren. This is going to be hopefully just a day read. It's Christina Lauren, it's romance, it's a recipe for just a really easy read. I'm working on a video where I'm just basically going to read all of Christina Lauren's books, and so this is obviously one that I need to read. I've had this for a while now, and it's like only about 300 pages, so it should be really easy, so I feel good about this. I'm a little bit burnt out with romance. As you might have seen on my Goodreads, I have been reading a lot of romance recently. One, for a video, the same video that I'm reading It Happened One Summer, and second, because they're very easy for me to get through and I read them very fast, usually, but now I'm getting kind of burnt out, so we'll see how this goes. But it's Christina Lauren. I think it's impossible to be burnt out with Christina Lauren. Okay, next I have The Invisible Life of Addie LaRue. This is without Dust Jacket because I'm in the middle of reading it right now. I'm in a book club. This was the book club pick for November. I haven't finished it yet. We are meeting on Friday. Today's Thursday. I just realized today's Thursday. We're meeting tomorrow at like 6. So I have to finish this. I have this much left. This book is emotionally destroying me a lot. I'm not really plowing through it because I am terrified of the way that this book makes me feel. Because I have to have it finished by Friday, I feel good about it, so that I'll have it done in the early December and it'll be over and I'll be happy. And then next, this is our book club pick for December. We actually have 2 that we're reading in December. This is one of them, and we're planning on reading it in one day in December. Hopefully this will be very easy. It'll be a day read. This is just a little Christmas romance situation. It should be really easy. Very excited about it. Okay, let's just get the Bob books out of the way. There are 3 of them. First, we have Song of Achilles. This is the one I'm least nervous about because although it's a very sad ending, I know what the ending is, number 1, because I've read Greek mythology, and number 2, it's Madeline Miller. It's going to be beautiful. It's going to be touching. It's going to be so much more than just a sad book. And so I'm guessing this will be easier to get through than I expect, but there will be a vlog about it. You might get some tears. You might get some sobbing. You never know, but I am really excited about it. And I feel like I'm more excited than I am scared, which is a good sign for a bomb book. Next bomb book is It Ends With Us by Colleen Hoover. Terrified for this one. Absolutely out of my mind terrified. I don't want to read this book. That's the word I was looking for. Yeah, I don't want to read it. It was my bomb book. I did a poll last month. What is the book, Colleen Hoover book, that made you cry the most? A resounding It Ends With Us. I know it's literally heart-wrenching, devastating, horrible. My friend read a synopsis of it. She didn't even read the book, and she was heartbroken by it. Like, I'm not gonna be okay. I just read November 9th by Colleen Hoover, and I understood the power that this woman holds over me. I don't want to read this book at all. So that's gonna be a really fun vlog for everyone involved. Did I explain why I need to read 18 more books? No, I didn't. I want to reach 100 books by the end of this year, which usually isn't hard for me, but I kind of screwed myself over in the beginning of the year because I read like 2 books a month in the beginning of the year because I'm stupid. My Goodreads goal is 100 books, and I'm at 82 as of December 2nd. So, this is one that I need to read. It's gonna happen, I'm gonna do it, and I'm gonna literally never be the same again. Speaking of never being the same again, this guy from June, remember when that happened and I never read it? I've actually started this book and the vlog. I love this book. I love it so much so far. I'm terrified to continue because I love it so much that I know once it starts getting a little dicey, I'm gonna not be okay. I've already cried. I'm this far into this book. I've already cried. Okay? It's not going well. Next, these are all, I'm gonna go over some library books that I have to read, some books that I don't own yet, or I'm borrowing from the library. First, we have The Ex-Hex, another romance, again for the vlog that I'm filming. Don't have that book. Don't know when I will have it. I've been waiting since October for it on Libby, has not yet come in, so feeling a little uneasy about that situation, but gonna read that. And then the last romance, is it the last romance? I think it's the last romance is, nope, it's not. 7 Days in June. That one I also have to read. I have that one currently on Libby, and I just have to start it. And then the last one is The Road Trip by Beth O'Leary. I'm like over halfway done with this, but that book is really, really dragging for me. So yeah, I have to read those 3 also for the end of the year. But like I said, The Road Trip, I'm already halfway through. I think I have like less than 200 pages to go. I should be fine, but I'm not. So yeah, those 3. And then next, I'm gonna go over the last 2 books that I haven't started yet, but I am going to. The first one is Anxious People by Frederick Bachman. This is our official December book club book. One Day in December is just kind of like an extra one that we're doing because it's one day, you know, in December. I'm really excited about this one. I know that it's like adult contemporary, which is not something that I read often, and so I'm worried that I'm gonna have trouble getting into it. But the premise like excites me to such an extent that I might just fly through it. I've never read Frederick Bachman before, so I'm really excited about this. And yeah, hopefully it doesn't drag. And then the other one that I haven't started yet is Escaping from Houdini by Carrie Maniscalco. If you're not aware, I explain this like every time I talk about this book, but I read one Carrie Maniscalco book a year from this series to stretch it out as long as possible because this is like my favorite series ever. And so this is the 3rd book in the series, and I've been trying to read it for like 4 months in a row, and it just hasn't gotten on my TBR. It was on my TBR 2 months ago, whatever month it was. Didn't get around to it because I'm terrified of it because I never want this to end. And I know things go a little awry in this book, and I'm not prepared for that emotionally. So this is a bomb book in its own way. But yes, this is another one. This one is a little bit thicker than I want. It's like 440 pages. That's not ideal, but we'll get through it. It'll be fine. Okay, so that's all of the ones that I have to read. Next, we're gonna go, I'm talking so fast, I'm so sorry, I just don't want this video to be eternal because I have to talk about so many books. Next, we're gonna talk about books that I have to finish that I've already started. A lot of these, I'm a significant, nope, not a lot of these. Some of these, I'm a significant way through. I just haven't gotten around to finishing them yet. So the first one is For the Love of Men by Liz Plank. I started this book, like spring semester I was supposed to read this book, and I'm like almost done with it. Like I'm very like at the tail end of it, but then the semester ended and I just never had the time to pick it back up, but I really do want to finish it, especially because I'm so far into it, and it's also a very interesting book. So yes, hopefully, I mean it's nonfiction, which is a little scary because it's not a really fast read, but hopefully I will be able to get through it in a timely manner. And then Malibu Rising by Taylor Jenkins Reid. I've started this one. I love it so far, but I am also simultaneously not reading it actively. I'm hoping it's not going, like, it's gonna be really fast. A lot of times with Taylor Jenkins Reid books, I like to be able to take my time, so I'm gonna try to start this at the beginning of the month so that I have the entire month to get through it, because I love her book so much. Even though I've never spent more than like 3 days on one of her books, I'm just excited for it. I want to be able to fully experience it and not feel like I'm rushing, so I do want to start it very, very soon. And then I think I have 3 more to talk about. 3 more? Yeah, okay. Next is The Jungle by Upton Sinclair. You're probably wondering, that's a really tough book. Why do you want to read it? The answer is I don't. I have to read this for a class. I already finished talking about it actually in class, but I want to finish it because I'm more than halfway through it at this point. I just want to get through it. It seems like the easiest option. It's definitely not the easiest option, but it seems that way to me. I have it on audiobook, so I'm not reading it. That would be disastrous. Absolutely not. I have the book. I have no idea where it is though. I think it's like behind my bed. I lose books constantly in my room. It's not good. But yeah, basically I have to finish that book. I don't have to, but I want to. But if that's the one where I'm like, I will allow some leeway if I don't finish that book. It'll be fine. I can pick another short one. My backups are all Shakespeare. So one of my 18 is Pericles. I have to write a paper on Pericles, like 3,000 word paper on Pericles, so I have to finish that. I'm nearly done with it, but that is something that I have to more thoroughly read through. And then we're also reading A Winter's Tale and Coriolanus. I have to read one of those. I just realized that now, so I might replace The Jungle with one of those. I technically have to read both of them, but one of them I have to write a paper on, so I'm only going to read one of them. So lastly is this lastly? Yeah, Animal Bodies. It's an ARC that I got last month. I've been working my way through it. It is a short story collection. I will talk about it more in January when I'm done with it. It's very good so far. That's not a very long book. I'm a little over halfway through it, and so I'm looking forward to finishing that one soon. And that's 18 books. That's actually 19 because I added another Shakespeare in there. I don't feel great about it. I'm a very competitive person against like myself. So like I want to complete this challenge more than anything, and I will push myself to the limits to do so. But also at the same time, I want to ensure that I'm not going into January in a reading slump, because that's what I did last year. So I'm going to take it easy. If I have to replace some of these books, I don't want to do that. And I did say that you could report me to the authorities if I did that. So these ones I really need to finish. These ones all have a high priority for a vlog or for a challenge or for a video, or because I've started them already. I've taken a lot of time and crafted this TBR so that it's the best option for me. So I really do need to stick to it. So yes, I re-established my consent of you reporting me to the authorities if you see me on Goodreads reading anything but these books. Please comment below some reassurance for me and my TBR. Actually, let me know how you're doing on your reading challenges. Let me know if I'm the only one who's literally struggling and dying and struggling. But other than that, I hope you have a great day. I hope you have a great week. I hope you have a great month. And also, sorry, usually in my videos there, plot twist, I have something else to say that I forgot about. Keep an eye out for videos coming up soon on my channel, because I have some very exciting end of the year videos coming up. And also, I can't believe I'm saying this, I'm doing it, I'm putting it into the universe. I am going to be again doing a week-long stretch of videos at the beginning of January where I wrap up everything that happened in 2021 vis-a-vis my reading. And I did it last year. You guys seem to really like when I did that, so I'm gonna do that again, and it's gonna be stressful, but I'm gonna do it. So I will see you then, and also sooner than that, and I'll see you again. I need to go. Goodbye.